Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to share with you. I just got my delivery from artsavingsclub.co.za and I got a freebie. This is just a tube winder that I'm definitely going to be using, and I just blessed myself with some art material. So there's always an opportunity when you buy to maybe give it as a gift. And you know what? The gift of creativity is a gift to me, and I give myself some art material. So I just like to sort of give myself a nice positive message, and it sort of just elevates the whole thing. Like, I'm gifting myself with opportunity to create, and that's just beautiful. This one reads, "Colors are the notes and your art the symphony. Create, create, create." Isn't that beautiful? I love this. I think I'm going to put it up in my cupboard for my art studio. So the last time I bought myself some QoR watercolor, I got myself the high chroma kit. And this time round, I thought, well, let me try something else. There's 3 kits like this, 3 or 4, not entirely sure now. But I know that I love this brand. This is from Golden, and this is their QoR watercolors. And they've got some of their own claims of their formulations, and all of that is just wonderful. I think for me, the most important thing is that no animal is hurt during the creating of this material, because they have a high flow ability. So they're using an artificial ox guile to give more flow to their colors, which is absolutely beautiful, and I quite like that. So I thought today I would just show you guys what this looks like, and then maybe I will swatch it for you guys so you can also see what this looks like. And this kit comes with a beautiful little tin, and if you remember my old tin, this is what the first one looked like. This is 8 years old, and this is what I've been painting with for the last 8 years. So I did add my own, I can't get it open. I did add my own colors to it, but the point being that this is where my watercolor journey really went to the next level, and I'm still using it today. So it really is a quality product to buy, and I'm really excited. So in here we have a beautiful little brochure with the entire collection of watercolor, and that is just so exciting. So my intention is sort of to just bless myself with more of this as I'm able to afford it, because even though the tubes are small, it's only 5 milliliters, I promise you this, you will paint for a number of years with this little tube of color. So that is just so exciting, you guys. I'm going to just spend some time with that later and really absorb it. I'm literally opening this together with you guys, and I thought today would be maybe a good time to, what shall we call it, to swatch these. So I think, where shall I swatch it into? I still want to buy myself some empty pans to add to my major collection, but I guess today we're just going to go down the line and just see what they look like. So I've got my watercolor paper here on the side, and what I've done is I have created some space for myself on this very high quality watercolor paper. This is Archer's cold pressed watercolor paper, and I just created some spaces for myself because I think it's always a good idea to swatch for yourself your new colors, and then you can cut it out and you can put it in a protective sheet of plastic maybe, and keep it with your box so that you can always see exactly how strong your color is, what the opacity of the color is, and to remember what exactly that color looks like, because when watercolor dries in a well, sometimes they all just look black. It's very difficult to discern exactly what the color looks like. So especially if you're working with new pigments that you're not familiar with, this is one way to sort of get into that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just protect this beautiful watercolor painting that I've got there. And you can paint this along with me on my Watercolor for Beginners course here on YouTube and on my Patreon channel. Check out, there will be links in the description of this video so that you can find that easily, or just check out my playlist, Watercolor for Beginners here on YouTube, and then you guys can get into it with me. So some of the videos are available for the public, just to show you my teaching style and what I'm getting into, and the major bulk of the course is available to my Patreons, my paint tier. So that's only $5 a month, so it's really not expensive to get into. So if you're a beginner in watercolor and you want to know sort of how to get into this craft and into this medium, then I can really suggest that you join us for this beautiful journey. I'm just going to squeeze out the tiniest amount. Now that is already way too much, but it's okay. We're going to play with it. This is Nickel Azo Yellow. I'm just going to put that back. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to just use this Princeton Aqua Elite round brush number 6. And I've got some clean water to my right here. And I'm just going to use this first block here as the space where I'm going to place that color. And I like to just prepare the watercolor paper with some clean water. And that's going to allow my watercolor to flow. Because what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to try and really get into a concentrated amount of this color right at the top, so that I can see what that would look like if I used it almost in its pure form. Beautiful. And I'm just going to work this down. And you can see basically how this is flowing down to this bottom bit here. And it's just going to continue to bleed into that water. I'm just going to bring a little bit more water to the bottom here to give it space to glow into. Glow, flow, you know, that kind of thing. Right. That's really pretty. Now you can see here, I really pressed out a dollop. You will be able to paint for a long time with a dollop of paint like that. So I'm going to try and not put out that much paint. Really concentrated. Okay, let's get into the next one. This is Hansa Yellow Light. Okay. Let's try. Maybe a trick would be not to press the back, but rather here in the middle. There we go. The tiniest amount of pigment is required. So the first time I bought this watercolor, I was really like, oh my word, the tubes are so minute. And for the price that I paid for it, I imported it with Amazon, and I paid $2 for it, US dollars. And I was like, oh my god, this is expensive. But the minute I started painting with it, I understood the difference and what I've bought and what I've invested into. So if you're a beginner watercolor colorist and you want to get into watercolor, please, like I say in my videos, start with, the budget that you have. If you can afford a professional color, go for it. If you can't, don't let that stop you. Then start with a more affordable brand and see where that leads you. And I just think you're gonna really fall in love with your watercolor much faster if you have good quality materials to work with. There will be less frustration. I remember when I started with watercolor and I watched these amazing videos and I saw all of the beautiful techniques that the artists used, and then I was playing with very poor quality paper and really student grade color. I was so disappointed. I didn't have that flow that I was looking for. It was very stiff. This is quinacridone gold deep. Now in my previous palette I had quinacridone gold and I absolutely fell in love with it, and it's finished and I can't get an individual tube like this of that color. I have to buy the set. That's the only thing that's really sad for me. Here in South Africa you are not allowed or not able to buy individual tubes, but in the States you can, or I suppose I can try importing it on Amazon, but it's rough, it's rough. So it was more economical for me to buy this color in a kit like this than to just buy one color, but it's absolutely worth it. So let's look at the quinacridone gold. Okay, let's prepare the block. Now you guys will notice that I did a black line right through the middle of this swatch, and the reason I did that was to see what the opacity of this color looks like. In other words, can it cover an underlying layer or will it just be completely translucent? So that's also something to learn about your color, is the opacity. Oh my word, that is just beautiful. Look at that watercolor flow. That is exactly what I'm talking about. You can make this pigment flow like that. That's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm so excited, you guys. I can't wait to share and to experience and to play with this. I'm just going to pull that down a little bit more. Here we go. Beautiful. Right, the next one in here is what I'm so grateful for. This is quinacridone magenta. And so, by the way, a professional brand like this will give you exactly which pigment they used. They will tell you the light fastness of the color. Now here they can also show you how transparent these materials are. Like if the cube is completely open, it means it's completely transparent. If this cube is half covered, then you know it's semi-opaque, and if this cube is black, then you know that the color is opaque. Just to give you some introduction there, I'm going to put a tiny dollop. I'm really trying to only put a little dollop of paint out. There we go. Okay, let's get this prepared with some clean water. I'm really trying to concentrate today not to contaminate my water. To my right, I've got 2 containers of water, and the one is the one is there for rinsing out my dirty brush, and the other one is there for always having clean water available. And sometimes I get confused between the two. Oh yes, welcome back into my life, you beautiful magenta. Look at that amazing flow. Oh, I just love that. I just love that. To me, this is a superhero color. Now, a lot of watercolor artists will tell me, oh, they prefer Daniel Smith. Now, to be honest with you, I have no comparison. I've never worked with Daniel Smith. I am very eager to work with Daniel Smith, but it is just very, very, very expensive. But I will get into that at some stage. I just found a kit like this is maybe a little bit more economical, but I will definitely give it a try. This is permanent alizarin crimson. I've just recently started to paint with this in my acrylics. This paint is a little bit thicker, and it's just a deeper red, and I must say I do enjoy it quite a bit. Let's prepare the swatch. Make sure there's enough water on there. I'm actually going to add some water at the bottom here to this magenta. Just want to push that up a little bit so that I can see its stainability. So how light can it go? Well, most of these colors can go very light depending on the amount of water that you add to it. Like that. Let's see this alizarin crimson. Oh, I just love this flow. It's really a pretty red. Wow. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Just going to come in with clean water here at the bottom. So the whole idea of a color swatch is to give you the depth of its pure pigment and then dilute it with water to see how that color will play on your paper. Right, and then the last one at the top there is, drum roll, Pyrrole Red Light. Interesting. Also a fairly new color to me. It is a very bright red. Oh my god, that's way too much pigment. Surprise, surprise. Oh, exciting. Okay, let's do some clean water. I know swatch videos can be quite boring, so bear with me here. Or you can play it on fast forward if you don't want to listen to me drone on about this color. Wow, that is nice and vibrant. Beautiful. Oh, don't go outside the lines, Gideon. Why not? Yes, that is quite an intense red. And you can see it's much warmer than the alizarin crimson over here. Just going to drop in water. Beautiful. Okay, let's move to the cool side. This is, drum roll, phthalo blue green shade. Okay. I don't think I've I do have phthalo blue, but I don't think I've got phthalo blue green shade. Oh my goodness. I'm so used to squeezing out a tube of color like this into a well. It's so intimidating to try and get out only a little bit of pigment out of this tube, and then there's this whole bunch of color, but that's okay. Right. Now phthalo blue, any phthalo, it's potent pigment and usually transparent, and not to be underestimated. A little bit goes a long way. Look at that flow. Isn't that just gorgeous? Beautiful. And now I say that about every color. Flipping that water back there. Luckily I'm very familiar with phthalo blue, but now I've missed a little spot there with my little experiment here. Where is my tissue? That will help. Water control even in a swatch exercise. I think that will be good enough. Right, let's move on. The next one is ultramarine blue. Beautiful, let's see. Now you can see the ox gall that almost came out first out of this tube. It's like a translucent liquid. And that is what basically is helping your watercolor to flow beautifully. It really carries the pigment into the water and releases with a beautiful burst of color. And that is one of the claims of QoR watercolor, is their beautiful ability to flow and dispense and create interesting shapes. I want to just mix that a little bit. Wow, that's a nice intense dark blue. And ultramarine has a definite sort of violet bias to it. It makes the most beautiful purples, especially if you mix it with quinacridone magenta. I do love the bit of granulation that is happening. That is basically when you see little particles of your pigment. Love that. Right, let's look at the next one. This is phthalo green blue shade. And normally phthalo green is also like a, I don't know, normally I shouldn't say that. I wanted to say that it's like a quinacridone, but maybe it's not entirely the same. I'm not that big of an expert. But phthalo green, like phthalo blue, goes everywhere, and it is one of my favorite colors because I can make the most beautiful turquoises with phthalo green and phthalo blue, and depending on if you add yellow to it or even purple, when you add purple to these colors, you make the most beautiful, interesting violets and grey kind of lavender tones. Really pretty. Right, let's get into this phthalo. Let me just get that drop off. And you can also go quite deep with phthalo. Oh, that is beautiful. It's a little bit warmer than I expected, or that I'm used to. Phthalo green can look very in your face sometimes. I know it's not always a favorite of everyone. Some artists absolutely detest phthalo green or viridian green. It's not everyone's cup of tea. But I do love it. Okay, almost there. Not last one, but third last one. Burnt Sienna Natural. Now here you can see the squares measured halfway. I can't remember what the circle is about. I'll read now. But another square is talking about its transparency. Okay, I'm going to put that there. Let's prepare this little block. I'm so excited. I can't wait to begin to paint something with this. Okay, let's get into this. Oh, gorgeous. Love it. Very similar to this quinacridone gold deep, but it does have a bit of a different hue to it. Same but different. Beautiful. Second last one. Payne's Grey. Oh, I absolutely love Payne's Grey. I'm going to put it here. With Payne's Grey, it's like my black in watercolour. You can go very, very dark with it, and you can go very, very light with it and have beautiful bluish, violety kind of variations. Definitely a cool color. It's not a warm grey. Let's get into it. Oh my word, that is just divine. That is just divine. I absolutely, look at that. Wow, that is just so beautiful. You can see that looks almost black, but look at the beautiful flow and softness of the color here. That's absolutely stunning. Very potent. I'm just trying to control that flow a little bit. So you can see why it's a good idea to do some swatching before you paint with it, because this way you sort of get to see the strength of your color and what you can expect from it when you put it down on the paper. I promise you, the concentration of pigment is absolutely astounding. I'm going to put some clean water there. Flow down, flow down, flow down. Okay, we've got one more left. I don't want it to end, but it's not the end, it's merely the beginning. Yellow Ochre Natural. I didn't expect that. I really didn't expect that. I don't want to put the yellow ochre in a well like that. I think I'm going to put it on the side there, next to another yellow. Yellow ochre is definitely not one of my favorites, but let's see. Maybe this one will impress me. Let's prepare the swatch for the final. A lot of preparation for a little bit of color. Oh, I like it. It is pretty. It's like a buttery yellow. It's definitely warmer than what I expected. But it does give a beautiful soft flow. I really like that. Well, my friends, there you have it. I'm so glad I could share this moment with you. And you can imagine how long I'm going to be able to paint just with these little amounts of paint that I put out on this little metal, well, what shall we call that, palette. And you can now see how long this is going to last. If I was able to just do this little bit with all of this potency by just adding a little touch of that into water, you can see that this is a high quality, high chroma set that's going to last you years. I promise you this. So I can really encourage you to make an investment into a good quality watercolor paint like this, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Thank you, QoR from Golden, for making this amazing paint for us as artists. And I do want to add, I'm not sponsored by QoR. I paid for this myself, and I was definitely not paid or sponsored by Golden for this review at all. It's just something or a particular brand that I've gone to really love, become really familiar with, and I'm so excited to paint along and use these colors and create beautiful paintings with it. And definitely going to save, there's another kit like this with different colors, and I definitely want to get the high chroma set again with all of these vibrant colors. Now, one of the colors in here that's in that particular chroma set is this cobalt teal. Oh my god, that's just the most beautiful color, and I miss that. And also their olive green, also their green gold, this one. Oh my word, that is just so beautiful. I really miss that color. So I must get myself that high chroma set, and I also want to try out the other set with a little bit more of a floral sort of combination. So I would suppose there's some little bit more violets and pinks in that particular container. So that's really cool. Thank you, QoR. I really am so happy to be able to paint with a high quality paint like this. So you guys, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys in another episode as your watercolor wizard, and we will definitely be playing with these beautiful pigments. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye for now.